No, that
There
was a
you
me
are.
issue. It's Beth Morrill.
All right, I was right. Heck yeah,
You
I
were
did.
right. Woo.
Beth, thank you so much for joining us here on Mornings on Main Street. It's a pleasure to have you. And so I want to tell folks exactly what you guys are doing with Sleeping in Heavenly Peace. This is a really incredible ministry that you guys have going on. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing down here in Murray County.
Well, thank you for having me on. We are called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and we are a brand new chapter of a national charity called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And we basically build beds and deliver beds to children in Colombia who are currently sleeping on the floor or sleeping 4 or 5 to a bed, perhaps sleeping with their parents, just not in an ideal situation. And that is our that is our website. That is the main website. We have a chapter website, which is the SHPT in Columbia. We have a Facebook page and a chapter website. We just started in September. Our chapter here in Columbia. We had our first bed build with our core team, the team that I have created to help support this chapter in September. So we just are very, very brand new. We just built our first 10 beds and we just delivered 9 of the 10 beds. So we are having our next bed build this Saturday, the 15th.
Now, tell me, what was it that made you guys want to be a part of this organization and specifically, with this type of ministry?
Well, I had heard about this from a friend in Pensacola, Florida. I'd been down to visit her, and she was very involved in this ministry. And she reached out to me in January, and myself and a couple friends, and said, "Hey, we're doing a bed build up in Nashville." They started their chapter in February of 2020.
Mm.
So they started, and then they were, had a really hard time because they couldn't deliver beds, they couldn't have bed builds. So without those two things, you can't really have a chapter. So they were just having their first bed build in January or February of this year. And so my husband and I and a couple people from our life group went up, and I have a passion for children. I've been looking for a way to serve the city of Columbia, the Murray County in general. And so my husband is good at woodworking. And although you don't have to have any woodworking experience to go to a bed build. And I just turned to him in the car on the way home and said, "I'd like to do this. And I think I'd like to do it and serve Columbia." And he said, I would too. And so we have a really strong life group we've been together for 4 years. And so we posed it to the life group and they were very supportive. And so that was all back in August. So we've been a couple months.
So, now that you've kind of gotten your feet wet with this, and have you been surprised by the need for something like this in Colombia, or is it exactly what you expected?
I was actually shocked when I first learned about this ministry. I had no idea that there were people in any community sleeping on the floor, children sleeping on the floor that like didn't have a bed. I had no idea that was even a thing. And I have not necessarily been surprised. I just based on the training that we went to this past July, um, they have told us that this whole charity started in 2012 nationally, but then it really got launched in 2018 when Mike Rowe did a Facebook video of and interviewed our founder, Luke Mickelson. So since 2018, they've gone from like 10 chapters to over 300 chapters in a pretty short time, and we had COVID in the middle of that. So anyway, I didn't know it was a thing. I'm not surprised that there is a need. 2 to 3% of the population of any town is going to have this, but it is very humbling to know that this is a problem, and very rewarding to be able to go into a home and see a child who's so excited to have a bed, maybe the first bed they've ever had.
Now, so tell me, how do you guys procure the materials for these builds?
So we have corporate sponsors. Our largest corporate sponsor is Lowe's, and Lowe's Columbia. Heather is the manager there. She has been fantastic in helping support us. In fact, we are going to be going there later on today to pick up all the wood. We'll be building 20 beds, or attempting to build 20 beds. It's our very first like community bed build this Saturday.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of wood, and we had a lot of tools to procure at the beginning, just to get prepared for everything. And Lowe's Columbia has been wonderful. The beds are brand new in the sense that we build them. We take raw lumber, and by the end of the kind of like an assembly line kind of thing that we set up, by the end of that, you have a twin size bed. Looks like this. My husband made a little copy of one, so it looks like this twin size bed, and it can be bunked. You can have another one on top of it. And so we build those and brand them with the SHP logo, and deliver the bed, a brand new mattress, which Lucid Mattress is another corporate sponsor. We get those from our headquarters in Idaho. And then donations of brand new, they have to be brand new pillows and twin bedding sets, like bed in a bag with comforter and everything. So the child between age 3 and 17 will have a brand new bed, brand new mattress, brand new pillow, and brand new bedding. So
That's exciting. I mean, when you're able to have great corporate sponsors, it really makes such a difference uh, when you really think about it. I mean, obviously donations are great and that sort of thing, but when you have the backing of these, these local sponsors and these local stores, even if they are national chains, it is such a huge help to
really,
individuals like this. And
mhm.
so this Saturday, if you're in Columbia, how do folks get involved? How do they come see you guys, be involved in this event?
Well, I also want to give a shout out to Murray County Parks and Rec, because they have been incredibly supportive to us. And we actually have the ability to have our builds at the Skeleton Barn, which is there at the fairgrounds at Murray County Parks and Rec, kind of behind the senior center. That is where we will be holding it, in the Skeleton Barn. It's really helpful to us if people register for the build, and you can do that on our website, which is shpbeds.org. And then it's /chapter/TN Columbia /. So all that's on our Facebook page. And also you can find it just by going to shp.org and then find my chapter, and we're listed there as well. There's a big red register button if you scroll down to upcoming events, and you just register there. That will allow us to know how many volunteers we have, so that we know what to be prepared for.
Gotcha.
So it's from 10 to noon on Saturday.
From 10 to noon on Saturday at the Skellington Barn here at Murray County Fairgrounds of the Murray County Park, just behind the
And
Senior Center. Go make sure to register for that if you want to be involved.
And they've been wonderful in the sense that they have allowed us to use that for the next year through 2023 on a monthly basis. So incredibly generous.
Absolutely. Well, Beth, thank you once again for all that you're doing. Thank you for coming on the show and telling us all about SHP. We really appreciate it. It is a blessing that what you guys are doing, and we look forward to seeing many more children here in Columbia get their first bed, if not their first bed, a bed for them to sleep in.
Yes, our mission is no child sleeps on the floor in our town. So thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. Beth Morrill there with Sleep in Heavenly Peace.